Good morning, Top Fan Rivalry family, and welcome to Around the Diamond, a show that you will see at 7 a.m. East. I'm sorry, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern every week. It'll be with myself and Sam. Sam should be joining me any second. As usual, he's running a little bit behind. So we're going to get started. Anyways, as usual, like I say, this is a show that we typically do when we record. We put it right on YouTube after we record and put it on YouTube. Yeah, sometimes we'll put it up in other places, but it is here today. Sam is actually not as late. Usually he's about 25 minutes late, but he's actually here this morning. But that's what you get when you work with a Giants fan, right?
Hey, keep it to yourself.
Keep it to myself. Come on, Sam. It's the first show that we're doing live together, and you're already late.
I'm
Don't
I'm like
I
30
I
seconds.
I was
I was not feeling 100% this morning, and I'm still here. So
this guy tells me I overslept. He's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. It's 7 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, well, when you travel all week and then you don't get enough sleep, you try to pick that up on the weekends. And then I thought we were doing this at 10:30 like we usually do, and I misread your text last night.
Oh, this guy. Boo, boo, boo. Anyways, so welcome to the show, everybody. This is going to be typically it's a weekly show. We call it Around the Diamond if you're not familiar with it. If you are familiar with it, well, then you know that we're now live. We're going to do these shows during the season. We'll be doing them every week. In the off season, typically we do them every other week. Sam is the pitch deck guy. Sam creates a pitch deck. This is more of an introductory show for everybody that's live. So typically we'll have a pitch deck for you. Typically we'll have some topics to talk about. We'll talk about our corporate sponsors, which we're going to run down some of those this morning. But Sam, why don't you endure yourself to the crowd? Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you? They should already know you. You're infamous. You're more than famous. And so why don't you tell everybody about you?
Infamous is a big word. I don't like to consider myself infamous. I'd like to.
You're infamous. You're more than famous, Sam.
I'll take it. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Grand Slam Sam. I am the host of ATD Around the Diamond with Baseball Bill, one of my closest friends here. And while we are a Giants fan and a Dodger fan that talk baseball, and you would think that this is just a combating, consistent 30-minute episode of us just going back and forth about how my team's better than his or his team's better than mine, we put our baseball feelings aside for the most part, and we are purists of the game. And we talk about what is going on across all the teams in the league.
Yes.
We don't judge. We don't try to put people down unless you're the Rockies, because there's never anything really good to talk about the Rockies. But when it comes to our opinions, there are opinions, and we love to bring them to you. We've got extensive experience in watching baseball, loving baseball, seeing everything that's been going on in baseball, and it's our opportunity to share our feedback, our input with you. And who knows, every now and then you might hear something that we do get talked about on ESPN 2-3 days later.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Sam and I get a little crazy sometimes. On occasion, we'll make a little bet with each other. Sam lost a bet to me this year. He had to refer to the Dodgers as America's team, and he just, as a Giants fan, that just warmed his heart to do. It was amazing.
Do not get ahead of yourself in that. That was one of the most painful things I've had to
do. All right, so
there was no enjoyment in that experience at all.
It was, hey, speak for yourself, buddy. I enjoyed it.
It was great. For me, it was painful.
Yeah, speak for yourself, amigo. Speak for yourself. Okay, so let's run down a few of our corporate sponsors. We always want to thank these guys and gals. We want to thank Marie the Realtor here in Newport Beach, California. We want to thank Ned over at Ruby's Diner. We want to thank Keith over at Handel's Ice Cream. We want to thank Javier Galicia, who is a financial advisor. You can find him on our website. Art Center Gallery in Laguna Beach and in Mission Viejo. And the list goes on and on and on. Mo's travel agency. We've got a ton of them. And over the time that we do this show, we will definitely be getting you that information. We'll also be letting you know about the show times to be prepared for them so that you can come on. Now, Sam, as you know, you can see that we're talking right now. We don't have a lot of people on, but this will be replayed plenty of times on YouTube and on X. So we're excited that that is the case. Let's dive right into one of our topics, which was hot stove. I woke up this morning and it looks like Mackenzie Gore over in Washington is being shopped.
Interesting.
Hard throwing left-hander. Sam, what are your thoughts about that guy?
Mackenzie Gore. I mean, look, hard thrower, but at the same time, you know, teams need to get better and teams need to look and see how they're going to, you know, grow their talent pool. So, I mean, ultimately, you know, we're going to see a lot of things happen this offseason. I mean, look, as a Giants fan, I saw that the Giants could potentially put Bryce Eldridge on the block. And to me, that's just like the most painful thing you could possibly see. Like, you'd be nuts to do it. And Mackenzie Gore, he's 26 years old. You know, he's got, you know, after this, he's got what, 2 more years of arbitration?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to shop a guy, this is kind of the time you want to do it. Just because, you know, at his age, if you, like, look, if you're going to make this guy a franchise player, this is the year to do it. If you're not going to make him a franchise player, try to get something for him now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when you're looking at his stats, he's been a 4 ERA pitcher, averaging 140, 145, 150 innings a year. He's starting a good amount. He's in a good amount of games. He's going at least usually, you know, minus his first year in 2022 when he was with the Padres. He's gone 27 games, 30 games, 32 games. So you can get him in for games, but you're not getting him for innings. You're getting an above average pitcher, you know, pitching an average of a 4.1, 4.2 ERA. I mean, guy was a first round draft pick in 2022. Oh, 2017. So, I mean, and he's a Boris guy. So, you know, Boris is going to shop his guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just looking at his stats. I got a text message that was hilarious. I'll read it to you in a second. So I was looking at his stats, and I don't put a lot of when you're pitching for a team like Washington, I don't put a lot of win-loss in there, right? I mean, he was 5-15 this season. His ERA was a little high, but you look at him and he pitched 159.2 innings, so 159 and 2/3 innings with 185 strikeouts and only 64 walks. So, I mean, this is a guy that's going to give you some time and he's going to give you some effort, and it's going to be good stuff. Interesting to see that Washington is shopping him because they have such a young core with James Wood, with Dylan Cruz and some others. It's interesting that they're shopping him, but you know what? Shop away, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys are gonna shop. And look, it's not saying just because they're shopping him means he's gonna get taken.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, is there a market?
Yeah. Is there a market for him?
And, I mean, there is gonna be a market for him, but at the same time, you got to look at who's willing to give up what and what they're, you know, and when are they looking to make this move? I mean, yeah, they're shopping him now, but they could hold this through January and then just try to get, you know, as many different offers as possible and then make a jump on it. Now, obviously, the longer you hold a guy, the less chance you have of signing him or trading for him. But I'm never opposed to shopping guys, depending to see on the value you get.
So exactly. So I just clicked on to another article, and tell me that this makes sense, right? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The article says Tigers, quote, continue to engage on potential Skubal trade.
I had to take a sip of my coffee here for a second. I am not. So I think Skubal is going to stay in Detroit, but I would not be upset if he came to San Francisco.
Of course, you wouldn't be upset if he came to everybody. I just want everybody to know that's watching this on repeat. I want everybody to know Sam thinks it's okay that everybody goes to San
You thought Dylan Cease was going to every single team under the sun 2 weeks ago. You thought they
I
were
did. And did he not? Did he not go to every other team?
And put on every team minus the Giants. So I don't want to hear it. I don't.
Oh, dude. Nobody wants to go to the Giants. Aaron Judge didn't want to go to the Giants. Arson Judge didn't want to go to the Giants.
Again, there were reasons as to why. I don't need to explain myself.
So you have to understand, everybody, that Sam and I like to do this a lot. As you're watching this show, you'll see, even with our decks up, you'll see that we are just going to go crazy on each other. And Sam picks on me and I pick on him, and it's all in good fun. I mean, Sam has his version of things and I always have the truth. So we're good.
So I want to. I have my version, which is the truth. You have your version, which is fantasy.
The Blue Jays lose.
Blue Jays lose. Let's bring up two of the big contract signings that happened in this week.
Okay.
And I know you know which ones I'm talking about.
Of course, go for it.
Which one you want to go with first? Toronto or the Mets?
Go the Mets first. We'll go to Toronto second.
Okay, so this trade, I'm not going to say it shocked the world, but it more or less confirmed there's a man on the way out, and he's not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Damond Williams signs a 3-year contract agreement worth $51 million to the New York Mets, going from the Bronx to Queens. He had 18 saves, 90 strikeouts. He had a 4.79 ERA in Yankee Stadium. Is this a better move for them as a closer position, or should they have stayed the course?
So you're asking a question here that brings up a very, very good. So there's a 2-part question, because now you're going to talk about Edwin Diaz here in a second. I know that.
Of course.
But here's where this gets interesting, right? So Damond Williams came from Milwaukee to the Bronx. Nobody understands, and ask Randy Johnson this, a Hall of Fame pitcher. Ask him this, okay? When you're in the Bronx, you have a bad game. If you're a pitcher, you have a bad game, it's the end of the world. Like, it is literally the end of the world. If you go 2 for 14 in the Bronx, people are wondering, hey, did they make the right moves? Yada, yada, yada. Yeah. I think the pressure of him pitching in the Bronx was a little much, because all season long, people were all over him, right? And then you go into Queens, you're still in New York, but you don't have as much of a high-powered situation. Yeah. And so with the press. So I think this is probably a good move for Devin and his career.
100%. But now let's flip this. Edwin Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Came off of, he had an injury. He was out half of the season. He's back, though. He looked great at the end of the season. He was pitching fairly well. Where do you see him landing? What is his next move?
I haven't heard a lot of rumors about him. I heard one about him coming to LA. I don't know that I totally love that, just because of some bullpen pieces that are already there. but he needs to go to a place where it's a team that either is A, on the cusp of a playoff position, or B, has been there and needs to get back there, aka Baltimore, for example. He needs to be in Baltimore where they just had an off season, but the 2 seasons prior they were in the playoffs. So he needs to be that guy. He needs to be the guy that gets Bill. Well, he was. He wasn't in Milwaukee, but he needs to be the guy in Milwaukee that gets him across the finish line. He needs to be the guy that maybe stabilizes what was a pretty rough go for the Astros and their bullpen. Who knows, right? But he definitely, one place I know he won't go because he wants to actually compete is the Giants.
You'll just throw a checkbook at him like you do with every other player and bring them up. What the Dodgers do. You want to go there? We'll go there. What do you want to say? What do you? No. For those of you listening, we'll always say this throughout the season, and I want to make sure he clearly says this on this live while I'm present, so I can hold him accountable to it. Bill, what is good for baseball?
What are we looking for? Good hot dogs?
No. What is good for baseball? You always say this. It's good for baseball.
Okay. I know where you're going with this. So it's good for baseball when the Red Sox and Yankees are good. It's good for baseball when the Dodgers and Giants are good. Okay. Yes, I always say that because the rivalries. It's good when the Cubs in St. Louis are good. It's good for baseball because of the rivalries.
Okay. I appreciate you saying that. Mm-hmm. If the Giants don't bring in good talent, the Giants and the Dodgers won't be good, meaning it won't be good for baseball. So as much as you say good players shouldn't come to San Francisco, there will be good players, I think, personally, over the next year or two that will come to San Francisco. I think the managerial changes that have happened, I think bringing Buster in as the president, I think the changes in the clubhouse are going to be more enticing to players to want to come to San Francisco, as long as they start deciding they want to spend some money on bringing players in.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. We're going to digress here for a second off a hot stove for a second. It's funny that you mentioned that. I had dinner with a friend of mine who knows Tony quite well, and knows some people that are around Tony quite well. And Tony is very much a guy who likes to control the environment and control the atmosphere, right? And so that being said, I asked him, hey, what do you think about this move? And he said, it'll be interesting the first time that Buster comes down or even Boshi comes out and walks into Tony's office and hands him a lineup card and says, this is your lineup for today. Because he does not play like that. And he said it will be interesting too when you've got a bunch of millionaires who are, having bad days or whatever, or don't like when he gets in their face, it's, oh, you got to try that. And they're like, dude, I've been doing this for 15 years. You just got here. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. He's concerned for that aspect of it. Not that he can't do well, but he's concerned for that aspect.
No, and I totally hear that. I totally hear that someone's mentality as a coach in the coaching position is, they're worried about that aspect. But I think Tony Vitello is coming in. And if you've looked at the pieces he's put around him from a coaching perspective, and Buster has put around him from a coaching and advisory perspective,
mm-hmm.
They are looking, they probably had a very in-depth conversation before the signing. I said, we want you to bring you to the game, but this is different. You're not dealing with guys that aren't making money in playing this game like you were in college. You're dealing with players that are making millions of dollars. It's a different landscape that you have to adjust to.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I believe they brought in pieces to be around him that will help him acclimate to the game of Major League Baseball and how it differentiates itself
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But when you're in the position, Sam, and guys, there's one thing about guys that we know. We are very egotistical. We are very prideful,
100%.
right? And if you've had any type of success, I know that you've had a very good career. You've had a lot of success. You and I have talked about your successes offline. And if somebody comes in to you and you've been doing what you've been doing for years and you have a new boss and your boss's boss walks in and says, this is the list of the people that you're going to call today, and this is the list of the people, or this is exactly what you're going to say to them. And you're looking at that going, well, wait a second, right? Wait a second. And so it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts to that. I agree with you. They've put a good supporting cast around him, and that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. But he's had a lot of success in the collegiate level. I mean, coaching, I should say, in the SEC is like coaching in AA. Okay. As Sam has his breakfast on a live. He'll learn that lives are not places for breakfast.
I'm muting myself so you can't hear me chewing.
Yes.
Again, I woke up late and I need to eat because I have to run out after we're done. But
yeah, so anyways, it'll be interesting to see how this plays itself out.
I think it will. I agree with you. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays itself out. I'm not questioning that. Do I think his first year he's going to have some growing pains and adjusting from collegiate to majors? Absolutely. But I think he is a seasoned vet coach. He knows how to coach players. He knows how to get them involved. He knows how to get them energized. He knows how to get, boost their egos the way players want their egos boosted.
Correct.
You're a player. You want your ego boosted, just as what it is. So I think it's just going to be for him. It's going to be balancing that aspect with the concept of, I'm not coaching college players. I'm coaching players that are making millions of dollars. And I can't force them to push through certain injuries because they're making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I got to give a guy a day off. It's different now than it was in college, where it's like, oh, you got a little tweak in your ankle, get out there and play. Get out there. You're trying to, it's a different landscape. And I think he'll do a good job of adjusting to that. He's also got a couple of players on the Giants that he coached that can help him in that acclimation and help him from a player perspective and getting them on his side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to talk real quickly though, because we're 23 minutes into the show. I love, by the way, how on this platform, FYI, as Bill has mentioned, this is the first time I'm seeing the platform. It gives you the time of how long we're on the live. So for those of you that don't know, a little behind the scenes insight, Bill typically texts me during the show to tell me how far along we are into the show. He no longer has to do that because I can actually just see it, which is great.
Well, you can just see things. I mean, it's amazing. You can see,
and I can read. I passed third grade.
Well, I don't know that we want to go that far, but you can definitely see things.
Well, I want to talk real quick about Dylan Cease signing.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Dylan Cease, 7-year contract with Toronto, bringing in one of the best in starting pitchers right now over the border to Canada, getting him out of our division, our area. So I'm kind of happy about that. But How do you see the change of him going from San Diego to Toronto? How do you think this is going to impact him?
That's a great question. I don't know what the impact's going to be. Let me backtrack and tell you, I think that this is a pricey deal for Toronto. I think it's a little bit too pricey for Toronto, to be honest with you. They were one game. Well, let's face it. They were 2 outs away from winning the World Series. Okay. And then Miguel Rojas said, hold my Gatorade. I got this. I do think
who re-signed with the Dodgers. We'll throw out that little tip there for you.
And he also announced his retirement too. He says, this is my last year playing.
Oh, well,
and so
congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. And so he wants to go out as a three-peat champion, which I understand.
Hopefully.
And so, but it's going to be interesting to see. Does it change? I was a big Dylan Cease fan when he was in Chicago because I thought that he just pitched with a certain kind of flair. I didn't see that flair in San Diego as much. And it'll be interesting to see if he gets that back in Toronto. Does it make an impact on the American League East? 2000% does it make an impact. It's amazing. And does it make Toronto more exciting to watch? Yes. Toronto, if I were Toronto, though, and this may not be popular, and don't at me, everybody that's going to rewatch this thing.
Blast Bill's Instagram page with comments.
Yeah, please. Send all comments and complaints to Mike at Heads Up Sports Cards.
Yeah.
He manages our complaint department. He's out of Boston. Please send it to Mike directly.
He loves complaints. He'll tell you exactly where to put them.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, I understand why the Blue Jays did what they did. I know nothing. I have no inside scoop or anything like that. But if I were Toronto, my focus would have been getting back Bo Bichette before landing a big whale of a pitcher. Because you've got to have some protection in that lineup. Springer's not getting any old or any younger. Alejandro Kirk is amazing, but you've got to have some protection for Vlad.
Yeah. So I couldn't agree more with you on that. I think it was a pricey call, but I also think it was a necessary call because they needed a number 2 behind Gausman. They needed a true number 2 behind Gausman. Like
it's a lot of money, though, man.
I know, but it's a 7-year investment. So, yeah, is it a lot of money in the grand scheme of things? Over 7 years, you're going to sell a lot of Dylan Cease jerseys. It's going to make itself back.
Okay. But this is a guy who started 32 games last season and ended with a 4.55 ERA.
Yes, but I think you're putting him in a better ballpark for a pitcher for half of his season than you are in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm looking up numbers here real quick to see. No, I understand what you're saying, Sam. I get it. I mean, obviously, the guy's 29 years old. He's signing. This may be the last contract that he signs. Who knows? Depending on how his body does. Now, mind you, of those, I mean, let's remember that Dylan Cease did, even though he only threw, 168 innings this last season, he did have 215 strikeouts. So he's getting people to swing and miss a lot. But, his walk total is not bad either. So yeah. I like it. I mean, I just think it was expensive. What do you think?
I mean, yes. Do I think it was expensive? I mean, yeah. Man's making $210 million over 7 years. I mean, if I was making $210 million over 7 years, a quarter of that would be donated to charity every year. I mean, it just would be. Of course. And I'm sure it will be. But when you break it down, he's going to get a base salary of $22,000 a year. He took a $23,000 signing bonus. 23 million, not thousand. Yeah, sorry, 23 million.
If it was playing for 22,000 a month, who cares?
His average salary for a starting pitcher is $30 million a year. That's honestly, when you break. Okay, my projected base salary for Dylan Cease was between $28 and $32 million a year. In my eyes, he's at the median.
So you nailed it. Yeah.
I think while yes, it's a lot, I think for his track record and putting him in a better position to play half of his games in a more pitcher-friendly ballpark, I think it was the right move.
Yeah.
I think we'll see better. I think we'll see better out of him in Toronto than we would anywhere else. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
So before we jump, let's go to the hot stove real quick. Let's talk about 3 guys that are rejected qualifying offers and are still available and have been talked about a lot. When I mean talked about a lot, I mean like these guys have been the talk of the town on MLB. Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber, Bo Bichette.
Okay.
Bo Bichette's in an interesting position because, yes, I think he will land eventually back in Toronto, but there have been a lot of conversations about him maybe moving to second, going to teams that either need a short or a second. Kyle Schwarber's camp has been inundated with phone calls from almost half of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle Tucker is hands down the, from a fielding perspective, the best outfielding prospect or the best outfielding candidate in the free agent market today.
Correct.
So where are we as we go into the GM meetings? Because I believe those start on Monday. Am I right?
No, it starts today.
Oh, they start today. Okay, so with the meeting starting today, we're going to start seeing a lot more movement going. We're seeing agents down in Florida. We're going to start seeing a lot more conversations happening. Where are we projecting these guys to end up?
So Bo Bichette is an interesting one. He'll either end up in Toronto or he'll end up in a place like St. Louis where he can make an impact and bring that team back to where it needs to be.
Okay.
Kyle Tucker is another interesting one. Staying in Chicago wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Although there's probably 25, 26 teams that are trying to figure that out. Schwarber is going to go to one of 2 places. He's either going to go back home to Cincinnati, where he grew up.
Take a team-friendly deal.
What's that?
Take a team-friendly deal.
Maybe with incentives. I think he would take a team-friendly deal with incentives. Hey, if I win the MVP over Shohei, I get an extra blah, blah, blah. Or he'll go back to Philly. There is some rumblings in Philadelphia, though. I heard that Bryce Harper is getting frustrated and wants to get out. If you lose Bryce Harper and you lose Kyle Schwarber, Philadelphia has not rebuilt their farm system the way that they're supposed to. They're going to end up in 3rd place. So Schwarber needs to come back there. Like I said, Bo Bichette, that's pretty simple. Either Toronto or go to a team that needs a little bit of extra love, but a marquee team. I mean, no disrespect to these fan bases, but don't go to a Colorado or to a Las Vegas or even right now at this point, even to the Angels. Wait and go
to the Angels. There's too much red. There's too much red there, and I'm not talking just about their color.
Yeah, so for the most part, you end up at a place, a marquee place. So maybe as the White Sox are rebuilding, and they've rebuilt quite well, maybe Bo Bichette ends up in the White Sox. Maybe the Cubs, make a huge splash and get Tucker back and Bo Bichette. Who knows? And so now all of a sudden you've got Dansby Swanson playing short and Bo Bichette playing second and Kyle Tucker in the outfield. That would solidify the Cubs winning that division.
Yeah. I hate to be a homer in this, but you say Bryce Harper might want to get traded, and I have this like this mentality of like Harper and Tony Vitello like having this amazing relationship in San Francisco. And again, this is just me like looking at it from the perspective of like, man, I see these guys just having like a great friendship and really just playing well with each other.
Do you want to know where I think Harper goes? Do you want to really know where I think Harper goes? I think Harper stays put this year and makes himself so invaluable this year. And does Harper things, gets frustrated about different things and whatever, but makes himself so invaluable that after the strike year of 27, He goes and he plays for the A's in Vegas.
Goes home.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, Bryce Harper has already put together and is putting together a Hall of Fame career, right?
100%. He can have a bad year and still be in the Hall.
Yeah, there's zero whatsoever, zero question mark that this guy's putting together a Hall of Fame career. But if he got an opportunity to play in Vegas, well, maybe that I'm just looking up some numbers on him real quick, but maybe that is something that, I mean, the guy's 32 right now, right? How many more years has he got on his deal? I'm looking on how many more years he's got on his deal here.
I'm pulling it up as well on my end. He's got
team control for another 6 years. Yeah. So
I believe he has a full no trade clause.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at a guy who's got 363 home runs. He's got 1,801 hits, right? This guy's good. I mean, obviously, and in another 6 years, he might put together another, he'll be at about 2,500 hits. He'll probably be at close to 500 home runs. So, I don't know. I actually think that, I mean, Bryce has played just as long with the Phillies as he has with Washington. And remember, when he left Washington, it didn't sound like it was an awesome situation. So now we're at that 7-year itch mark with Bryce, and he's wondering, right?
Well, and here's the thing, Bryce, it's a no trade clause, but he could technically waive it.
Of course.
He could waive his no trade clause in his contract. Again, I think for him to go to Vegas in 2 years, it would also depend on not just going home, but I think it would also depend on the club that they have, the coaching that they have, and where they sit in the rankings.
Well,
he's not just going to go to Vegas just to go to Vegas. You know what I mean?
And I disagree. And I'll tell you why. And you've got a good point, Sam, but let me disagree here for a second. Okay. If he goes to Vegas, let's assume that there is not a strike in 27. Okay, let's assume. Although from everything that I'm listening to and people around, it looks like we're heading that direction. But let's assume there's not a strike in 27, right? Bryce will be age 34 then. The A's are consistently rebuilding. He could be the face of that franchise, which is kind of something that he's always. Nobody right now is saying, gee, Bryce Harper and the Phillies are coming to town, because you've got Kyle Schwarber, you've got Bryce Harper, you've got Trey Turner, you've got, like, nobody picks out him and says the Phillies are coming to town. Bryce Harper and the Phillies are coming to town. He can do that with the A's. He can be the face of the franchise, and he can train a lot of young kids.
Yeah, I agree with you. A big decision factor on him going to Philly was coaching. He even said in an interview this year that San Francisco was high on his list if Bochy was going to be his coach when he got there. But Bochy was not going to be the coach, which is why he didn't choose San Francisco.
True.
He wants a coach that brings experience, talent, and energy to the game.
Yep.
And he's not getting that in Philly right now. The coaching has been all up and down over the last couple of years.
Right.
I agree with you in the stance that there is not a definitive face of the franchise in Philly, but I will push back a bit and say, that they are saying Bryce. They might not just be saying Bryce and the Phillies. They're probably saying Bryce and Schwarber and the Phillies are coming to town. But Bryce is in that conversation. And I think him moving to first base was the right move for him. I don't think he was not going to longevity wise be able to keep playing left field with the knee injuries and the ankle injuries that he's faced and the hip injuries and stuff like that. He needed to move to first. And I think it was the right move to do it this year because he did very well at first base. He did a great job at first base. I think I do agree with you, though, that he's going to here. He will probably, I don't think Bryce is going to purposely fail or purposely play bad, but I do see Bryce not playing to the expected Bryce level to put himself in a position to say, I can still play at a top tier level. I'm going to waive my no trade clause. Who wants to come and get me?
Right. No, I agree.
But, you know, as always, we always say this is a 30-minute show, and it always goes longer. So we're going to wrap this show up. Bill has put together a great podcast schedule coming up in this next week. Bill, take me through your podcast schedule.
So it's pretty simple. We're going to do a rewind on Monday. On occasion, what I like to do in the off season is throw a rewind in there. And that rewind is pretty simple. It's just a show that was on at some point in the season. On Tuesday, we have Dominic coming on, or Dom coming on. He's a new podcast guest. He's going to talk about the Anaheim Ducks. Obviously, Top Fan Rivalry covers MLB predominantly, but we also cover NHL, NBA, WNBA. Wednesday, we have Alexa, who works for the Ducks, coming on, who grew up in Washington, D.C., and she's going to talk about the Washington Capitals. Thursday, we have Brian on the show. He's been a guest, and he's been on a number of times, and he's going to talk the Angels. And then Friday, we've got Mike from from Heads Up Sports Cards talking about unraveling baseball.
Love that. Mike is one of the best. Mike not only does unraveling baseball with Bill on a bi-weekly or so basis, but Mike is also the one of the co-founders of Heads Up Sports Cards, which is a baseball card breaking group that partners with Bill every other week to do baseball breaks. Mike has been doing this for over 15 plus years. One of the best in the business. If you're a fan of card breaking, strongly encourage you to get to Heads Up Sports Cards on Facebook. Join the group. Let them know that Bill and Sam sent you. It's awesome cards. And this week, looking at the card break that Bill is putting out, Bill also has his own card group on TopFanRivalry.com called the 27 Outs Club. The 27 Outs Club is a way that if you join the membership, you get to pick your specific team. You're guaranteed your team in the 27 Outs card breaks that he puts on every other week. And it is an awesome just opportunity to keep growing and building out your collection. And this week, Bill is doing a Mega Box Trio, holiday trio of 2023, 2024, and 2025 holiday card break. Holiday Tops Mega Box holiday break. Over 300 plus cards. It's going to be awesome. The holiday cards are always fun. Sometimes there's snow, light, Christmas lights, maybe a Christmas tree in there every now and then, depending on what it is. But they're fun card breaks. It's an awesome. It's a fun box to be a part of. In the holiday season, it's a great one just to get invested into. But make sure if you're not a member of the 27 Outs Club, you get to TopFanRivalry.com, sign up for the 27 Outs Club. It's $27 a month for the 27 Outs Club. And again, you're guaranteed your team, one team in that break every other week when he puts on the break. So make sure.
Yeah. And usually we do them on Mondays, Sam, but with shipping lately, I order the cards at the same time all the time. But with shipping with the holidays, it's gotten unique. Right. And it's kind of, so back in January, we'll get back to every other Monday, which would be great. But it's been so tough. I mean, I got a shipping notification yesterday that said the cards would be here on Monday. And then I got one this morning that said, nope, they're going to be there Tuesday. So, okay.
Yeah. No problem. So, and at the same time, shipping is done once a month. Your shipping is, I believe, included in your 27 Outs membership.
Correct. Yep.
So,
and you get a $5 off coupon every month. So, Sam, I put it in the TFR Breaks Instagram chat for this month, so that you can go use your $5 off coupon if you want to do so.
I appreciate that. And as well, coming up in approximately 1 month, a month and 3 days,
Yeah,
we will be Bill will be hosting the annual Fanily reunion out there in SoCal. Where exactly again is it? I have the hotel.
It's going to be in Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's on the website. You can go to the team store and check it out. There's going to be some festivities in Newport Beach. There's going to be a dinner. We're lining up everything. We're expecting, on the low end, probably 30. On the high end, we're expecting maybe 40 or 50. It just depends. It's right after the holiday season. We put it on every year, right after the holiday season, before spring training starts. But a little birdie has told me that people might be interested in doing a semi-annual one too at a different location. So we're looking at things coming up soon. Maybe Nashville, maybe Philadelphia in the summertime.
I would love it in Philadelphia. I wouldn't have to travel. I wouldn't have to take the airline ticket.
You'd be score. All right, let's do it.
You could guarantee I would be there.
There you go.
There was a 97% chance that I was going to be at this one, and then it turned out that I was able to make it happen to be at this one.
So Sam, will Kiri be there though? If we're in Philly, will she be there? I don't care if you're there. Will she be there?
Kiri will be there if it is in Philly.
There we go.
Kiri will be there if it's in Nashville, because there's no way I can get away with not taking Kiri to Nashville.
There you go. I love it. So Sam, let me run
down this. You want to run down the sponsors again? Because you had a ton.
Yeah, I'm gonna run down some sponsors, and I'm gonna tell you about a new show alert, and we'll wrap this up. I'm so sorry, guys and gals. When you're rewatching this, please understand we try to make this a 35-minute show. If it goes an hour, it goes an hour. We'll never go more than an hour. So a number of different sponsors. So you got the Art Center Gallery in Laguna Beach / Mission Viejo. You've got Ned over. That's Todd. You've got Ned over at Ruby's. We've got Taylor, who helps run with Patrick the pizza store in Laguna Hills. We've got Javier Galicia, who's a financial advisor. He's on our website if you're looking for a finance person. You got Marie the Realtor if you're looking to buy a house. Go check out our website. We've got tons of them and more coming. We've actually got a food truck, a local food truck that will be joining us. We've got a new print shop that's going to be joining us. We've got a number of different places that will be joining us that are looking to build their brands and build their business. A few lawyers. So it's going to be great. New show alert. Sam and I are going to be doing this show, and Sam and I will talk about this once we stop the live. We'll talk about whether or not we're doing it weekly or bi-weekly in the off season. There's a lot to talk about right now, but during the season, we'll be doing this show every week. We will let you know ahead of time. It'll be live on Instagram. It'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and X all at the same time. We'll have it at the same time every week when we do. But we have a new show alert, and that is Dirty Water Dispatch and Top Fan Rivalry. So Leslie, over a huge Red Sox fan over at Dirty Water Dispatch, has decided to team up with Top Fan to do a weekly show during the season, but without a season going on. We're doing it every other week. We've done 2 episodes so far, and they're absolutely fantastic. This last week, we had Jen Mahoney on, who works for the Spurs. She also works as a mascot in San Antonio with the San Antonio Missions. It's been absolutely fantastic having her on. Sam will be a guest on that show at some point. But yes, and also on this show, you'll have a number of guests here as well. So yes, Sam.
It will be a fun time, and as we continue to grow, we will continue to add new shows. We'll continue to do these lives, and we'll continue to ask for your feedback. Give us your support. Give us insight into what you want us to talk about. Bill and I come up with topics every other week, but we would love to bring up topics that you, the fan base, you want to hear us talk about. Let us give us our insight into what you're thinking.
Yeah.
The show is.
Let us help you.
What?
Let us help you.
Exactly. This show is meant to be a fan-based show, and we want to ensure that we are talking about the things you want us to talk about and not just the things that we want to talk about. Although they're pretty good topics, we know you guys got some good topics to bring up as well. So make sure you're letting us know, and that way we can bring those topics into the show.
100%.
Before we wrap this up, any final comments for the fans out there, Bill?
Go fight, win.
End it like you always do. I love it. Next week, I will be more prepared, and I will have our deck ready to go. But until, or not next week, the week after, but until then, make sure you are checking out TopFanRivalry.com for the new articles, the new podcasts, the new merch that he's putting out. Join the T-shirt club and the 27 Outs club like we talked about. Make sure you're joining us for the exclusive member events, not only the in-person, but also the digital dugouts that Bill puts on every month. And make sure, if you haven't signed up already, you sign up for the TFR Family Reunion. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be there. Bill will be there. A number of other podcast leaders, members of TFR will be there. So make sure you're joining us. We'd love to see you. We want to talk to you. We want to give you our insights, hear what you have to say, and hopefully give us some ideas. With that, that's Baseball Bill. I'm Grand Slam Sam. And we will see you on the field in 2 weeks. Thanks so much.
Good. Have a good one all.